Hello, me beautiful souls. Welcome in or welcome back. Thank you for being with me here today in this reading and sharing your time and energy with me. My name is Amanda, and today we have 3 soul paths with unique messages from Spirit regarding a mystery message that you need to hear at this time. My Monday mystery message readings are readings where we keep the theme open for Spirit to come through and share any helpful, hopeful, relevant, or necessary messages that you need at this time to help. And for all of the mystery messages that I do, I am including a mystery card, which will be revealed once you hop into your reading. And they are timeless, so whenever you come across it, there will be something here to help you along your way. And remember to take what messages are aligning and confirming for you and kindly leave the rest for someone else. So if you are ready to get into it, you can find the timestamp for your reading in the description box or pinned comment section. However, if you'd like me to introduce you to the soul paths, let me do that now. For Soul Path 1, we have the Star card with the purple crackle quartz. For Soul Path 2, we have the Alchemist with the desert rose quartz. And for Soul Path 3, we have the Door with the aquamarine stone. So you can use your intuition now to choose the soul path that is calling to you the most, then click on the timestamp in the description box or pinned comments to skip to your reading, and we will see you over there. Hello, Soul Path 1. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the purple crackle quartz with the Star card, and this is an early summer card. So what I'm getting from this is you could be working towards a goal. You could be in alignment to your path and the thing that you are going after, the thing that you feel purposeful in exploring and achieving, in moving towards, running after. But I really feel like it's within reach, within your grasp, or at least you're on the way. You're very close to achieving some kind of success here. You are moving towards it, and early summer could be an indication for you as to how close you might be at the time of this recording. We are in September, and it is coming into the fall season in the Northern Hemisphere, so whenever you come across it, you can use early summer as an indicator as to when you might see some sense of success or momentum when it comes to some kind of goal you're trying to achieve. But I really feel like you are in alignment. If you had any question about your path, about what you are achieving, and maybe you're experiencing some delays at this time, I really feel like you're on some kind of precipice, though. You're at the doorway, and you have not yet passed through that doorway. But I really feel like it's within reach, it's within your grasp. It is at least within your conscious awareness as well, so you know exactly where you're going, how to get there, and what success looks like for you. Now, underneath that card was the Between Worlds with the number 3. So really building on that Star card, we have Between Worlds. And what I love about this card in comparison to the Star card is that we have a real sense of celebration. I get fireworks in both of these cards. We have a very faint light coming from the crown chakra, so I feel like you're really ascending or you're reaching some kind of peak here. And we've got lots of confetti, so lots of celebration. There's even a hummingbird that is looking back at the past to see where they've come from in comparison to where they are. So I really feel like you're moving between something that maybe wasn't satisfying, and you're in this liminal space where you've left, maybe not 100%, the past behind you, and you have not yet quite entered the new life, the new world, the new experience that you were meant to explore and to live. So it's almost like you're crossing timelines, you're closing chapters and opening up new ones, but have yet to fully be immersed in this experience. So 1 foot in, 1 foot out at the moment. So 3 is also a number of expansion and growth, and about nurturing your ideas, continuing to nurture your manifestations in order to continue to see growth or have that seed really bloom into something great at some point in the future. So I feel like even though you might be feeling a delay, you might be feeling like you haven't quite seen the success that you're looking for, that you continually have to show up for that idea, that project, that career, that job. And that doesn't mean that we have to show up to that particular thing every single day, because we are human, we will have moments where we are feeling down, we are feeling sad or depressed or unmotivated to achieve or to be productive, and that's okay, so long as after a period of time you pick yourself back up and you get back into the game to some degree, whether that is in small steps or in large leaps, however you see fit in getting towards your goal. But also keep in mind that there are universal factors at play. So no matter how much you push or try to encourage the success, this goal to happen at a specific time, sometimes the universe has its own plan and certain things need to be aligned in order for you to really capture that success in the way that will be sustainable, in a way that will be satisfactory. And sometimes only the universe knows how to do that. So I feel like there's a lot of good things up and coming, but you haven't quite gotten there yet. And we will get into the cards just to see what the tarot has to say about whether it's this message, they want to expound on this message, or there's something new that they want to share. So because this deck is new, I am having a lot of fun with it. So I'm going to continue to use it. So let's take a peek at, maybe let's look at your current energy. Current energy for Soul Path 1. We'll get 2 cards for Soul Path 1. Just one more for Soul Path 1. Soul Path 1, please. Current energy. Where are they at? Okay. So you have 3 here. So we have the 2 of Cups in reverse. And we have the Knight of Coins and the Sun in reverse. Okay. So you could be feeling a sense of disconnection from self, from maybe your purpose or your goal. I really get a disconnection or a lack of love, maybe even a lack of motivation. There's a significant, again, with the Knight of Coins, there's definitely a delay that's coming through. I feel like you are really practical, you're taking a really practical approach, but no matter how practical, how logical, how methodical you're being with this particular process, no matter what, it feels like it's not enough. So I feel like you might be losing your love for this thing because you're just possibly not seeing you're not seeing the results that you're looking for. You've maybe lost a little bit of joy or happiness in the process of this. And with all of these, maybe with these possible delays that you're experiencing in this liminal space, there's definitely a feeling of doubt, maybe even a lack of confidence that you're experiencing because of it. So let's just take a peek at maybe some challenges. What are the challenges that you are experiencing currently? What are the challenges Soul Path 1 is experiencing? What do they need to overcome? What obstacles are they facing? King of Wands. One more, please. Obstacles and challenge area. So we have the King of Wands with the 9 of Cups in the reverse. So there is a sense that you have I feel like you've done this before. You've done this before with possibly another person, another company that you've worked for, another business, but for some reason that you're struggling to find the fulfillment. You're struggling to find or at least fulfill your emotional needs in this effort. And so that is part of the obstacle and challenge here, is to find the pearls of wisdom and the inspiration in a moment where you're not seeing productivity, where you're not seeing success, coming back to your purpose, coming back to your own sense of leadership, your own sense of desire, almost asking yourself why you started this to begin with, rather than maybe moving from a place of having to achieve it for a reason that is beyond your true heart's desire. Maybe it's from a place of wanting to obtain it for money specifically, wanting to obtain it to make yourself feel good. I feel like it has to be more than just those things. There could be some in the group here who've had to temporarily put a pause on their dreams and their aspiration in favor of the more practical things. Maybe a full-time job that isn't aligned with their creative calling so that they can pay bills and put food on the table. There's definitely nothing wrong with that, but I feel Spirit's trying to encourage you to keep that dream alive in spite of the things that are going on in your world and where you might be feeling a little bit of disconnection from your goals, dreams, and desires. So this is almost getting you to assess why there might be a disconnection here. Because I feel that it's not just disconnection with this thing you're in relationship with, whether that is with self, whether that is with this project, this business, this career, or whether that is someone in your life. But it's also, you're in disconnection with this thing, but you're also disconnected on a personal, individual level as well. So I will say, and this could be for some, not all, but there could be you needing to obtain this thing in order to feel a sense of love, belonging, and emotional fulfillment, when really that needs to come from self first. So there's almost a feeling of the spotlight being put on who you are as a person and what gives your life meaning, how you go about expressing your hopes, desires, your dreams, your fears, and not leaning on the external world for that validation, but having that validation come from within first. And you can't see the stars unless you go through a little bit of darkness. So I feel like if you are feeling a little bit in the dark as to where to go, what to do, what's next, I feel bringing yourself back to your sense of self, that center, as well as your own vision, your own sense of creativity, your own sense of emotional fulfillment. I feel there's a pearl of wisdom in here that you could potentially be overlooking. So this liminal space is almost helping you find that before you attain the ultimate success that you're looking for, so that when you eventually attain this star and step into this new chapter of your life, that you can sustain it both from a mental perspective, an emotional perspective, and a practical perspective. So let's get a feel for advice, if that's not further advice. Maybe immediate future, aka advice for the future. One more, please, Spirit. One more. Okay. So we have the Page of Wands in reverse, and there is your star again. This is very youthful energy. This is very creative energy. This is the inner fire. This is working with the imagination and almost having that unbridled enthusiasm and expression for the things that you desire and you want to chase. Chasing stars, shooting stars, chasing that inner fire. and almost creating a map of your life, or creating something based on that unbridled or unlimited vision potential that you have for yourself. And this is in its very early stages where there's no limitations. The sky is the limit. And you're almost too early on to see the obstacles. So there's that childlike naivete that comes through. There's this playfulness that comes through. However, it is in the reverse, which means that maybe this is something that you might be overlooking, is that you have to get back to some kind of simplicity here, some sense of playfulness, and not taking things as seriously at this moment in time, not worrying about timeline, not worrying about pushing for a specific outcome or results on a specific time frame or after you've completed a certain number of tasks. This is about getting back into that kind of where you started, because I feel like your energy is that King of Wands, where you have this big vision and you have these big dreams and you have experience. You have had a period of time where maybe you have been putting your effort into something for an extended period of time. So you've gained a certain level of mastery in this. But I feel in order for you to move forward with a little bit of ease, I feel at this time you almost have to go back, return to where you first started and why you first started, coming back to that purpose and maybe reevaluating the whys. And we do have Magic Mirror here, which is a bonus card of many in this particular deck. I feel there's a reflective energy here happening where you will eventually come into this space of reflectiveness, of looking at where you want to go, what you want to do, and why you want to do it. I feel the why is the core of this particular situation, or maybe this particular goal. You have to be aligned with your North Star, and that North Star is your why. And that's the sun being in reverse. It's like that there's a piece of yourself that is missing from this equation, because I feel other things have taken priority or taken precedence over your personal needs, desires. And that's not to say that we should be selfish necessarily in these endeavors, because there could be other people in the mix, there could be other people to consider, but there's a certain level of maybe losing too much of yourself in this particular equation, and that has to be revisited or reintegrated. And this could be the reason why you're experiencing delays or why you're in this liminal space at this time. And the mirror can be this energy of the importance of seeking the truth, seeing the truth, not being afraid of what that truth is. Because the King of Wands to me is this very confident, very assured energy that moves very confidently in the direction of where their North Star lies. But I feel while you have that, I feel your North Star has almost moved. So you have to recalibrate and come back to some sense or some level of truth within yourself, understanding that maybe your priorities have changed, maybe your sense of direction has changed. And to make sure, coming back to the start of things, to make sure that you are on the right track. You are moving towards the things that you feel are important to you. Because that could also be the Knight of Coins, where they've gone for a certain period of time and now they've completely stopped because they need to assess, is this the right path? Is this the right direction? Are my values in alignment with my goals, and vice versa? Is my energy scattered at this time and I can't move forward until I can come back to some kind of focused energy? So this could be a period of time where you're looking inward at that. And you're looking for that wisdom to move forward. You're confronting maybe some shadows that lie in the depths that have been coming up here. The only active or upright card in this is the King of Wands. Everything else is in reverse. And I don't count this as a reverse or an upright. These always, even if they come out reverse, they're always upright. Just because they're not actually part of the tarot. So I feel like you've got this sturdiness about you, but I feel like you've lost yourself along the way, which is a really bizarre thing. So that's why I think your North Star has moved. Because you're no longer finding enjoyment or fulfillment or satisfaction in this thing that you are so energetic about pursuing and attaining. So ultimately, this moment in time could be this moment of self-discovery and self-awareness. So take this as an opportunity to really look at things from the perspective of why. From the perspective of, is this in alignment with what I want to be doing, where I want to be going, who I want to be in connection with? Bottom of the deck, we do have the King of Coins. So yet another energy of mastery. And this time, this is a mastery, or the master of abundance. This is firm foundations. This king has overcome a lot of obstacles, spent a lot of time committing to the things that are important to him, that are aligned to his values. And because of that, he has seen abundance, and he has a lot to show for it, not necessarily in material wealth, but this could be good health. This could be good friends around him. This could also be a really comfortable home and just general environment that he finds himself in. Now, with the King of Wands being in the current energy and the King of Coins being underneath the deck, again, I'm seeing this idea of your priorities shifting, where there might be more things that you are focused on at this time, rather than the creativity and that fiery drive to be productive and to maybe bring your projects to life. You are now focused on the more practical matters of life, the things that are going to give you security and comfort and a little bit of structure, whereas the King of Wands is you moving towards your desires at fiery speeds and with fierce ambition. So again, I see that shift in priorities, maybe a shift in your North Star changing. The two things that are missing here, there are no swords. So there could be some things in your thoughts, things that you need to communicate or understand or find the truth within in order to really clarify this next step and this next movement forward. The cups are only represented in the reverse, and we only have the 2 and the 9. So in connection with others, or with this thing that you are in connection with, and within yourself, whatever this thing is may not be offering you the fulfillment. It might be an inspiring prospect. It may be something that you have a lot of fire to move within. But in terms of the destination, or maybe the processes within achieving this thing, it might not be quite what you expected or where you want to go in the future. So there's definitely a reassessment or reevaluation that is happening in this particular moment. So I feel like there's a level of not resisting this. So we are going to get a final oracle message from the Moonology. I can't remember what this is called. I'll put it down in the description. The Moonology. It's a Moonology deck. Moonology Messages Oracle. I can't remember. Soul Path 1. Final message for Soul Path 1, please. Final message for Soul Path 1, please. Final message. Thank you. So you are in a place that you're meant to explore. You are meant to expand within. There are 3 people here. So this is that expansive energy. And I typically don't like to use this phrase personally because it can be a little toxic, especially when dealing with certain situations. So I'm very mindful about using this phrase, if at all, because I feel that there are certain things that we are meant to learn or understand in order for us to align with our North Star. So in this case, I do feel that that could be part of that message, is that there's something here that you need to learn. There's a nugget of wisdom. There's a pearl of hope or knowledge or understanding or truth that needs to come to the surface in order for you to really get clear about your purpose, your mission, the thing, and the why you're doing what you're doing, so that you can feel more fulfilled. You can feel more pleasurable at what it is you're doing. And it will even help this King of Wands even more in his efforts, become a little more motivated, be a little more proud, maybe a little more confident in their actions. So in that case, when it comes to self-discovery and self-development, I do feel that there are certain things that we are meant to learn or meant to understand through difficulty and adversity. And then there are other situations where they're just crappy things or awful things or traumatic things that were not necessarily meant to be, but are just circumstantial. And that absolutely mean nothing about your path, nothing about who you are. They are just awful things. So coming back to the self-discovery, that's where I will apply that meant to be, is that this is a moment in time for you that I feel you have been placed in to understand, to learn something in order to realign with or continue on your path to your North Star. There is a dead space between where you've come from and where you're going. So there's no sense of movement because you have to implement something. You have to adjust or adapt to something. And this doesn't mean to sit around and just wait for things to move. We are the creator of our lives, so we do have to take that action at some point to move in the direction of the thing that we want to manifest. So there's a certain level of trust and going with this flow of really understanding what is happening could be the exact thing that you need for your soul's development, for you to move forward toward whatever you want to explore. So this is what I have for you, Soul Path 1. I hope you found some clarity and guidance today. Personal readings are available on my website, which you can find the link for in the description box below. And with gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Soul Path 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Desert Quartz with the Alchemist card, which is associated with late spring. So late spring could be timing for you if you are looking for timing specific to a question that you had. We are currently, at the time of this recording, are in September. So we are moving into the fall here in the Northern Hemisphere. So spring for us would be a number of months away. But I really feel like you have a lot of ideas about what you want to bring to life, and you also have that inner fire to help with that creation, that process, that movement, that momentum. It's really interesting. Unknowing to me, I am feeling a lot of creative energy coming through in these readings so far. And that was completely unintentional. All of the cards that I've pulled for these are completely random, and I tend not to think too much about them until I get into the reading, so that all of the messages are fresh and they are coming straight from source in the moment. So, yeah, there's definitely something that you're planting here, maybe something that you're experimenting with. So whatever seeds you plant now may take some months for them to blossom or bloom. I'm having a very bizarre deja vu. This could be from Soul Path 1 because they got a little bit of a creative reading as well. But I have a feeling this is going to be a little bit different, as they usually are. But yes, I think that you're trying to create something that is of beauty for you, that is something that you can be really proud of, that may even help you personally transform as well. So maybe you're doing a lot of inner work and you're starting with that core of who you are and kind of moving outwards to define what your values are, define what your purpose is, your passion is, to define the things that you believe and what you don't want to believe anymore. So it's really, there's a bit of an experimentation coming through here as you're alchemizing and maybe transmuting some old things into something new that could be beneficial or that could be healed and moved on from. There's also a frog that I'm noticing in this card as well. So there's a bit of a finding home within a certain space and maybe feeling more comfortable in your own skin, in your own mind, in your own environment. Or maybe leaping to somewhere new where you feel that. And a sense of just transformation. I'm getting a lot of womb energy here because there's a circle surrounding this particular beaker. Is it a beaker? And I get womb energy from that. So you could be in a moment where you are doing a lot of self-care. You are making sure that you're taking care of yourself in this time and really having compassion for whatever processes you might be going through at this time. And then we have the Thinker card with the number 44. That equals 8 when you add them up. So there's a lot of 4s can be a number of stability and foundation and creating maybe a stronger foundation, maybe a stronger mental foundation for yourself so that you are not so moved or reactive to certain things in the external world. And with that Thinker energy, like I mentioned before in the Alchemist card, you can maybe, or did I say that? You can bring your thoughts and ideas into reality just by thinking about them and then putting that fiery action towards them. There could also be a sense of you overthinking if we take this one step a little too far, where we get into indecision, we get into loops of thought that we can't get out of. So this could be something that you're trying to break as well, the overthinking and not making a decision, being in some sense of a crossroads because you can't make a choice, or you're simply overthinking the choices that you do have or the decisions that you have to make. So there's a bit of a stuck energy here and you're not really sure how to move forward. So let's take a look at the tarot now and we'll get a sense for the mystery message and what Spirit wants to share with you. Maybe completely opposite or different to what this message was about, but it could also be related as well. So let's just get a sense for your energy. A little bit more detail on your energy from Spirit. For Soul Path 2, what is the energy? Thank you. So that one kind of came out sideways. So a little bit of an uncertainty, just like my words. One more card. Thank you. Oh, you got 2. All right. Funny, Soul Path 1 got 2 clarifier cards as well. So maybe you would like to check that pile out after this. So we have the Fool, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, and the Chariot in the upright. Okay, lots of universal energy here. You're definitely at the start of something to where you may not see some of the obstacles ahead of you. You may be moving towards this new beginning with eyes wide open, with hearts wide open, with a really renewed spirit and sense of enthusiasm. You understand your conscious thoughts, you understand your subconscious thoughts, and you really know how to move in a way where you're not shaken by the things, by your shadow side. You're not shaken by the things in the external world, even though certain things in the external world might be changing at this time. I feel like a lot might be changing for you. You have planted the seed, you have moved in a new direction, you're taking a new adventure, and things might feel a little wild. Things might feel maybe a little uncomfortable. We also have butterflies here in both of these cards, so I feel a transformation has taken place or will take place. from this new movement forward. However, getting out of this discomfort zone is not necessarily a comfortable thing. It could be an exciting thing, but it might not necessarily be a comfortable thing. As we move through the changes with the Wheel of Fortune, we move with the changes of the season, and sometimes those seasons can be a little bit hectic, but I feel you're doing a really good job at keeping yourself under control, of not allowing your subconscious thoughts or beliefs to really drive the bus here. You're really able to keep your eye on the prize and understand what motivates you, understand where you're going, and understanding that this particular situation that you might be experiencing in your external world, this too shall pass. It is only temporary. So you're not going to allow yourself to really move off course because of it, or change course because of it, because you have some kind of plan of action here. And so you're doing really well at managing whatever's going on in your external world. Let's take a look at some obstacles and challenges that are either you're facing right now or maybe up ahead here. One more for Soul Path 2, please. Okay, you have 2 more. That was too many. I don't want to get too many cards because I'm getting a Wizard of Oz reference there. But because we're limited on space, so we're just gonna get to. So we have Justice. Look at this. Justice and the 6 of Pentacles. You're moving towards a more just life, a more balanced life. And again, some adjustments have been required in order for you to find that balance. But again, I feel you're doing a beautiful job. The Chariot, in order to move in the direction they want, needs to have that balance as well. They can't get thrown off track by the light side or the dark side. They have to balance both of those things. They have to balance the different ways in which they're being pushed and pulled. And I feel you're really coming into an area of balance. And your obstacle is trying to maintain that balance, trying to maintain some level of fairness in the whole thing. Now, fairness, you take that as it resonates, but what I feel is fairness between what is happening and what others need as well. What you need, what others need, what's happening, and how to find balance in that whole process. There's also a feeling of giving to others where you can. Now, that could be for self as well, or that could be accepting help. And being discerning about maybe who you accept help from could be a possible opportunity or possible challenge here. But I feel some really good things. There's almost more opportunity here than I see challenge. So, but there's definitely a sense of give and take. So that could be a potential challenge where you need to make sure that the give and take on both sides of whoever you might be dealing with or whatever you might be up against is as equal as it can be, so that there's a fair outcome, there's a fair result. Accepting help from somebody that might have experience or can have a little discernment might be of help here as well. You could be going through some particular financial or legal matter, and I feel like there's going to be a really nice outcome for you, a really fair and just and balanced outcome for you. So you're just moving forward. It's kind of a really cool energy that I'm feeling. It's like you're moving forward as best you can in spite of all of this universal energy. You're definitely at the start of some new pathway here, and this minor arcana is just take note of the small mindful steps to maintaining that center, to be able to give, but also allow yourself to receive as well. And there's some adjustment required here. So that adjustment could be the challenge as well. Stay open to the truth, I'm hearing. So there could be some truth being revealed. I'm not sure if it's good or bad. I'm not getting any sense here. But let's take a look at advice or maybe immediate future. Advice or immediate future for Soul Path 2. Thank you. Okay, one more. Thank you. All right. So we have the Page of Coins and the Strength card in the reverse. Both in the reverse position. So the Page of Coins is this young energy, this immaturity. You're at the beginning stages of something new here, and possibly a new process. These could be linked. So whereas the Fool is a little going into the unknown and taking this leap of faith of moving towards something that feels exciting and curious and being a little unaware of what's up and coming, I feel like the Page of Coins is this energy of now having a little bit of experience to the point where they can bring focus to the matter. They can bring in a little bit of process and be a little more grounded in their approach. However, in the reverse position, I feel like there's a bit of scattered energy here where you're not really sure where to start. You're not really sure. Maybe there's multiple priorities that you're needing to tackle. Maybe you need to find a new home, or maybe you need to start a new job. Maybe you've moved different states or countries or cities, and now you're kind of setting up shop and have multiple priorities pulling at you at this time. I really get a feeling like, I'm not sure if this is a relationship, but I feel like you're really making some big moves here because of something that you've experienced in your external world, which is moving you to new places. And I feel like this is a good move overall, but you're almost starting from square one again, is what I'm hearing. And there's many square ones because the Page of Coins is in reverse. So there's a lot of priorities that are calling you at this time. Maybe you're starting from scratch in terms of a job or career, maybe even financial starts as well. And you're not really sure what the focus is. You're not really sure what the priority is because everything feels like a priority at this time. So I feel like there might be a little bit of confused energy here, but this is a learning experience. I feel like you are learning a lot of things. So the Strength card is coming in, I feel, to offer yourself a little bit of compassion at this time and to not be so hard on yourself with whatever this experience has been. I feel like this has been a trying experience. It's been an experience that you have gone through over a period of time. I feel like there could be, potentially have been, a lot of upheaval where a lot of things were flipped upside down, and you've managed to move through this in a really beautiful way. But the Strength card, I feel like your strength has almost been sapped. Your sense of leadership or confidence has dwindled because of this. Maybe you are struggling to wrestle some kind of beast here, internal, where something has come out of the woodworks for you personally, and you're trying to wrestle that a little bit. There is, I think about deer and how strong and how fast they are, but they're also so soft and gentle at the same time. And that's also too with what this Strength card is sharing too, is that in the upright, it's this gentility and compassion and softness towards the things that threaten to hurt us. And that could be within self, that could be with the external world. But I feel that's really coming into play here as you're managing and trying to move through all of these new phases or new starts in your life. Could also be why the the Thinker card is here too, is that you have a lot on your mind. Now, what is missing here are cups. So emotions are missing from this particular lineup, which tells me that your emotions have been maybe suppressed or put to the side at this time because there are more practical things that you need to focus on, which is totally fine. But I feel that could potentially help with this strength, is to bring a little bit of feeling into the mix, a little bit of compassion in for yourself, a little bit of self-love, self-care at this time. Also, the swords are missing from this as well. So while they started out in the beginning very strongly with that mystery card, I feel like in the process, there may not even be time to think about these things. So maybe find some time to spend time thinking about what is the most priority, taking a step out of the chaos. When we get to the Wheel of Fortune energy, it can stir up a lot of things. It can make us feel really unsettled. So there's a moment where we need to find moments to ground and rebalance ourselves again. So that we can really show up for ourselves on an emotional level and not overtax our mind to the point where we are overthinking, we are creating anxiety and stress for ourselves when it may not be needed at this time. I feel like this is something that will take time to unfold. This is something that will take a level of commitment from you. This will take some practical thought and strategy. Bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant in reverse. So this is a feeling of really challenging the status quo. And I feel like there's a lot in your life at this time that is really pushing the boundaries of what you understand, of what you know, traditions, routines, they're all being upturned at this time. And this is a moment to really learn something new in this new life. I feel like for some reason a new life is coming through, and this is time for you to develop your own set of rules, your own set of traditions, your own set of I want to say terms and conditions or policies, where you're not following things from the past and you're not following them blindly. Maybe you're questioning those things. Maybe you are looking to other people to maybe do some inner exploration, or to learn other ways to see something, to gain new perspectives on things. And again, we have more butterflies here. So butterflies, I feel, could be really relevant to you. They could be a symbol for you. And we also have butterflies in the strength as well. So butterflies are coming through. Lots of transformation, I feel, is happening in your life at this time. And I also notice that wands are not present as well, outside of this little fire that we see in the Alchemist here. So I feel like we also have a lot of candles here. So again, I think the fire and the emotions have been put to the side right now because there's bigger fish to fry. There's bigger priorities, and let that be okay. I feel like if you are trying to get back of some level of creation, and the thinking is getting in the way, the life is getting in the way, I feel like this is a moment in time where you just have to get through it, because there's a lot of universal energies here. There's the Fool, Wheel of Fortune, Chariot, Justice, Strength, and the Hierophant. So there is more, I don't want to say working against you, but there's more universal energies. There's bigger events happening that will and do and are taking more priority at this time, because I feel like this is almost a bit of a setup for something new, something that you can alchemize and plant new seeds in. This is almost a fertile ground. It's your life is becoming fertile ground again, where you can start creating something that is of your own vision. And it may be something that you've been thinking about for some time. So as stressful and difficult as it might be, this might be opening the door to something new here. Well, it's obvious with the Fool and the Page of Coins. Those are definitely brand new starts, brand new chapters. And you're not starting from scratch in the Page of Coins. You're starting from experience. So it's not like you might in the physical world be starting in a new home or a new job, or need to build up your finances again, but you have experience that you can go off of right now. So it's not 100% starting from scratch like the Fool, but I definitely feel like a new spiritual journey has opened up for you that maybe is kind of lying underneath all of this. And the Law of Attraction. which is also the alchemist. This is your thoughts become things, and making sure that your thoughts are aligned with the new things that you want to create, the new life, the new career, the new projects, whatever the new is that you are inviting into your life, to make sure that your thoughts are in alignment with those beautiful things. Because I feel like you are that alchemist where your thoughts then turn into beliefs, then turn into actions, and then turn into the everyday three-dimensional thing. So you have to be really a little mindful about what you're thinking at this time, because I think the universe is listening is what I'm hearing. So it's being mindful of that a little bit. You can start by becoming clear about your desires. You can write down your wishes, and just doing that will galvanize your intentions and give you a little bit of a playbook as to what you're aiming for, what you're moving towards. And then visualizing, but also understanding that it's already here for you. Understanding that you also need to put in a little effort. It won't show up at your doorstep. You do have to take steps in the three-dimensional world. But once you have that intention and that action and feeling it already exists, once you have all of those things in place, that magician energy is coming through with the alchemist. You can really bring that all to life. And I feel like you've done this to a certain degree before, so if you can do it before, you can do it again. And don't allow any of your self-doubt or any of the pressure to perform kind of stop you in your tracks. Distance yourself from anybody that is not offering you assistance or telling you not to do something at this time, and speak your intentions into being. So this is what I have for you, Soul Path 2. I hope you found some clarity and guidance today. Personal readings are available on my website, which you can find the link for in the description box. And with gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Soul Path 3. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the door with early spring as timing, if timing is something that you were looking for. We have, I'm getting a feeling like you're trying to unlock something, or that you have the key to unlock something. You are moving through, you're moving through some kind of doorway here that you have unlocked, and you're now moving through. And you'll see the results to whatever this thing is in the early spring. Now, currently we are in September in the Northern Hemisphere. Well, we are in September, and in the Northern Hemisphere we're getting into fall now, so spring is going to be some months away yet. So this could take some months, and that has been the feeling in every single one of these readings, is that whatever you're trying to achieve or work towards, there's a little more time. So there's this liminal space now between where you've come from and where you're going. There's also some butterflies here, which was also in Soul Path 2. I can't remember if it was in Soul Path 1. Not very prominently, but definitely Soul Path 2, so you might want to check that out if this resonates. But I really feel like there's a breath of fresh air is what I'm hearing coming through. A window has been opened, a door has been unlocked. You can walk through now. This could be in relation to love as well. And that some kind of cycle has either started, ended, or both. We can't have something end without something else naturally begin, and vice versa. So possibly a new beginning is at hand. And underneath that card, your mystery card is chop wood. So to me, this is chop wood, carry water. This is continuing to show up and do the work, even though you may have felt this metaphorical unlocking of something. You've unlocked something, you've created something, you've started something, you've maybe even seen success, so you've unlocked some kind of success, and you're now seeing the abundance flow in. I feel like this is not the time to stop. This is not the time to kind of sit back on your laurels and just receive, although you could do that, but I feel like Spirit's encouraging you just to continue to show up and to continue to put in the work. Interesting, we've got a doorway here as well with the doors wide open, so very similar to this one as well. So again, on the other side of that doorway, we have a little bit more work to do. And isn't that kind of the little bit of a thorn in the side when we have reached that level of success that maybe we've wanted to achieve, that is just where the work begins. So that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting here, is that there's more work to do. And that doesn't mean that we have to do all of the work right now and get it done, but just understand that you can take a moment to enjoy the successes that you have experienced or are experiencing at this time. But do understand that to maintain that level of success, or to sustain whatever it is that you're doing, that there still needs to be a level of work put in order to continue to adapt to any changes. And that can go with business or career, even love relationships, where you have met somebody and you have had a really good 3 months or 6 months or a year, and you're celebrating multiple anniversaries. And so, but that is, even though you have seen those successes, that doesn't mean that we can now be having a hands-off approach. We have to still continue to work towards strengthening that relationship and deepening that relationship and continuing to work through challenges. So yeah, as long as we are on this earth, the work seems to never end, does it? But do not let this discourage you, is what I'm hearing. Now, 42 could be a significant number. 4 plus 2 is 6 as well. So there's definitely a level of harmony coming through with this. And I just want to share the kind of the similarities in this. The keys here, the broom is here, the doors are opening. This one is completely open. And there's this archway that's happening. So I don't know. This almost feels like I'm almost getting a wedding as well. So there could be somebody getting married here in the early spring. But again, once we reach that milestone of getting to that point of marriage, if that's your thing, that doesn't necessarily mean that the work is finished, the work is complete. The work is going to be constant at varying degrees over the period of the marriage. I hope I'm making sense here. Sometimes I feel like I ramble, but that's okay. Spirit sometimes wants to ramble. Now, there could be something that you need to clean up as well with the broom and the mop. That's naturally moving me towards something that needs to be cleaned up, so that you can unlock or open something new. That could be metaphorical, that could be spiritual, that could be in your physical world as well. In spring, we usually do spring cleanings, so that could be something to consider. Now, let's look at your current energy from the tarot. Current energy for Soul Path 3. And these tarot messages could be in relation to these, or they could be completely different. We will see. Usually they have some connection to these, but we'll see. So we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. And we have the Hand of Glory, which is a bonus card, one of many bonus cards in this particular deck. Now, legend has it that the Hand of Glory possesses this ability to render its bearer invisible, can control minds, and unleash malevolent forces upon the world. And those who dare to wield it do so at their own peril, for its powers are unpredictable as they are dangerous. This is a symbol of temptation, corruption, and the allure of forbidden knowledge. Its presence serves as a reminder of the dangers of delving too deeply into the realm of the supernatural and the importance of resisting the lure of dark forces. Oh my goodness, that is a heavy energy to start your reading with the Knight of Swords in reverse. I feel like there are brakes being put on with the Knight of Swords. And, there are brakes being put on because there's some dark force that you are moving towards. And maybe you're feeling some sense of delay or some sense of resistance. You can't move as quickly as you want to. You can't walk through this doorway. You can't walk through this archway as quickly as possible. Maybe somebody is telling you lies. Maybe there's some bullying involved. There's some pressure here. I don't get very good energy. There's somebody here that you're connected to that is a bit of a dark force, and that doesn't necessarily have to be this person, wants to cause harm, but they could just be somebody that is not helpful, giving you a sense of anxiety or stress, and you're trying to avoid them at all costs. Maybe you are aware that they aren't good for you. This could be a narcissist. This could simply just be somebody who's very aggressive and doesn't say kind things to you. Now, saying that, going back to these cards, maybe you need to close the door instead of open the door. That's an interesting perspective on this whole thing. And maybe this chopped wood, cleaning up, is about moving away from this energy. And so engaging in that act of cleaning up, of maybe closing the doors and chopping wood, carry water, of doing that work, is going to maybe clear out some of this energy that you might be experiencing at this time. It might even bring in some more clarity as to how to move forward with maybe some shadow stuff that you're dealing with. Or maybe walking away from this, cleaning up this energy is what I'm getting, closing the door on this energy, because they are affecting your movement forward. They are affecting maybe your mental health. It's a bit of an immature energy as well, so they don't really think about their actions or the consequences of their words or their actions. They don't communicate very well, if at all. So this could be somebody who's shutting you out of communicating with you. What do they call that? Is it not stonewalling? I can't remember what it's called, but when they basically give you the silent treatment. It's a very difficult energy here, Soul Path 3. Let's take a look at some opportunities or obstacles here. 2 cards for opportunities and obstacles for Soul Path 3, please. Soul Path 3. Opportunities and obstacles. Okay. Yeah. Oh my goodness, you got many. Okay. All right. So you got the 8 of Swords. Yes. So this definitely feels like it's been weighing really heavily on your mind. We have more butterflies here. And I feel like you're such a beautiful, magical being. And you feel trapped. You feel stuck. There are thoughts that are really weighing heavy on your mind, that are really clouding your judgment, that are not allowing you to move forward or see the truth in something because there's so much to think about. There's maybe some repeating patterns. You're thinking about, I should have said this and I should have done that, and I'm getting really uncomfortable feeling. I thought that, and these soul paths have been so positive, and I thought that this would be a really positive door opening and transformation and, cleaning stuff out and, but we will, Okay, let's carry on. We have the Queen of Cups and we have the King of Coins. Now, I do not know if this is your energy. I'm just going to say, this could be a sibling, very immature sibling, possibly a narcissistic sibling, and these could be parental figures that could be of assistance or support. We have the King of Coins, King of Pentacles, who is very sturdy, very reliable, very loyal, very committed to the people and the things that he sees value in and that he wants to commit his time, energy, and resources in. They are very abundant. They have good, strong, solid foundation. You can go to them for comfort, for security, for stability. And this Queen of Cups is an energy of being a really beautiful listener, welcoming, very nurturing, somebody that is a very motherly figure that really pays attention to her intuition, her feelings, really honors her dreams, and really honors her emotions. So now this could be people in your life that you could lean on at this time. If you can identify anybody in your life that has these traits, it could be a combined trait, it could be parental figures, it could be aunt and uncle. Definitely do not apply gender. It could be aunt and aunt, uncle and uncle, whoever you really connect with that can offer you some sense of grounding and some sense of connection to kind of self-care. This could also be something that you are challenged to find in this. You are challenged to find your stability and security in this. You are challenged to find a way to self-soothe, self-care, to really honor your emotions, because your emotions are not being heard. And the things that you are sharing with somebody very vulnerably, possibly, are not being heard. They're not being considered. And you are the one that is expected to really make changes, when maybe you're not the problem. Maybe it's this person who is gaslighting you, who is bullying you, who is pressuring you, who is making it seem like you are to blame and it's all your fault. So naturally, you're not going to have solutions for something that you weren't necessarily the source of or the blame of. And then with this, we also have bow and arrows as well. To me, the bow and arrows are about that strength and precision. It symbolizes the ability to harness your strength and focus your intention with clarity and purpose. It serves to remind you that trusting in your abilities, I feel like the trust in yourself, the trust in your ability to make decisions and your thoughts and your truth has come into question and has been challenged. But it's not because it's wrong. It's because whoever is in your influence that has almost done this to you. So reminding yourself of your abilities and take aim at your goals with unwavering determination. So the bow and arrow represents your strength and your skill to navigate the challenge at hand. And I think Spirit's just reminding you of this, to know that you have power, even though in your mind you may not, that you're trying to find answers and you're looping around over and over again, trying to figure out what you did wrong, what you could do to change it. Unfortunately, I have a feeling there's nothing else that you could do to change this person. So this butterfly is coming to the forefront right now. And I feel like this butterfly is really an indication of you having to make the choice or the transformation to move away from and to connect in with your power, to have focus on where it is you want to go, to lean on people that can offer or reflect back the person you are outside of this connection. This is a really difficult reading today, my Soul Path 3. But I do feel like this is in your awareness, and that is a beautiful start. So let's take a look at advice or immediate future for Soul Path 3. I think you're closing the door on this. Yeah. Okay. So we have the Five of Swords in reverse at the bottom of the deck. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. I love this. Okay. Bottom of the deck, which I don't read these bonus cards in reverse. It is the gingerbread house. So, comfort. We have, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So Five of Swords in reverse to me means that you are completely removing, or maybe should remove, any self-sabotaging thoughts that you are the problem here. Because I feel you're the one that is being targeted, that is being the victim of whatever this energy is. And so you, I feel, are going to be removing yourself from this, even though it might feel difficult, challenging. You might feel a sense of shame, but that shame might be a little misplaced, or in the sense where you are feeling shame because you are a good person that doesn't necessarily want to abruptly leave or cut off connection from somebody that maybe you had at one point a nice time with or a connection with. And so naturally, when you are a compassionate person that has deep feelings for people, no matter whether they are romantic or platonic, of course, cutting them out might feel abrupt. But this is for your own good, because you are moving away from this contentious energy, this conflict, and because I feel there's no winning in this situation. And I think you're going to come to realize that no matter what you do, no matter what you think, no matter what you feel, no matter what you say, no matter how you go about trying to appease this person, it's never going to be enough. And so to get your sanity back, to get a sense of who you are back, you are moving away from this energy, even though it might feel cloudy, even though you might not feel good about it. It's going to be for the betterment of your mental health. Now we move from the 8 of Swords to the 5 of Swords. So there's a huge step back here. And there's also a movement into the 10 of Pentacles. So I almost feel like you're moving back into some kind of family home. You may be moving back in with the parents just to get your bearings and have that sense of security and safety again. This could also be a soul family as well that you're leaning on in this time, and that you're moving in with. Now, it's a bit of a slower energy, a bit of a softer energy, something that I feel is going to give you a real good sense of established, feeling of establishment, feeling of comfort. And speaking of comfort, the bottom of the deck, we do have the gingerbread house, which is that white picket fence. There's a protectiveness with that white picket fence. There's also a little bit of discernment with that third eye at the top of that door. So you're being very mindful of who you're letting in that house. You're being very discerning about, and maybe even keeping watch, which we don't necessarily want, but you're just keeping an eye of who's knocking at your door and being really discerning about who you're letting in. I feel like you do have helpers around you that can help you through this time. I feel like you are being led to somewhere that is more safe and secure, and maybe even a little more joyful, a little more sweet, because I do get a sense of sweetness here, because this house is made of candy, it's made of gingerbread. So I do get the comforts of home, the sweetness of home, the delights of being with people that you love and that can offer you a sense of family. So I love that you started out with this really kind of malevolent energy into something that's very soft and sweet. And you got 3 of these bonus cards here, which I just feel is kind of just extra confirmation that you're moving away from this particular energy and you're moving on from it. But of course it won't happen overnight. This has to be a very mindful process. It might have to be very strategic in execution. You might have to look for or build some sense of support in as you make some kind of transition away from this energy. But coming back to the Oracle cards, I really feel like you're cleaning something up here. And it's going to be in the mundane that helps you officially move. I don't think it's going to be in one dramatic fell swoop. I think it's going to be it's going to be a lot of little things that lead up to the big swoop. So be mindful of the little actions that you're taking to almost set yourself up to move away from. Maybe that is just a pulling away from communication little by little, or if you can completely, then do that. You don't have to, especially if this person is being abusive in some way, you do not have to justify your decision to completely cut off contact. And hopefully they respect that. So we'll get a final message to end your reading. Soul Path 3, what else do they need to know? Support for Soul Path 3, please. And what's interesting, look at that. I just said support for Soul Path 3 and it gave me the support card. I love how confirming they can be sometimes, and a little bit literal, and sometimes cheeky they can be. So definitely finding that support, I think, is really important at this time so that you can finally close this out. We have a lot of sword energy kind of in your immediate awareness, so there's lots of thoughts, but not a lot of room for the practicalities, the day-to-day, the feelings, even the motivation to move forward outside of the bow and arrows. Not a ton of fire energy. So I think this moment in time that you're moving through is helping you close that door, helping you close the cycle that you might be in with this other person that is not necessarily the best for your mental health. And it's moving you into a space that is a little more feeling. It's following your own sense of intuition, following your feelings, following where you feel comfortable and safe and secure, whether that is in a physical home or whether that is with certain friends and family that make you feel supported emotionally and physically. And maybe identifying who that is so that you can lean into that a little bit more and clean up this energy that is currently, I feel, really clouding or consuming you. So you can't see who you are. You can't see where you want to go. You can't be creative and aligned to your desires and aligned to the things that you feel intuitive about, because all of that is blocked by all of the mental facilities that you are expending on this particular person or in the situation that you find yourself in. But I do see a lot of hope here, Soul Path 3. So just be mindful of the people around you who are supportive, the spaces that make you feel safe, and to move away from this contentious energy as best you can, and to finally put an end to this particular cycle that you've found yourself in. I know that's easier said than done, but I think that you are starting to take steps towards that. So continue with that effort and know that it might not be an overnight thing, but just to continue to show up for yourself, support yourself, trust yourself, follow your feelings, and hopefully very soon all will be well. So my dear Soul Path 3, this is what I have for you. I hope you found some clarity and guidance today. Personal readings are available on my website, which you can find the link for in the description box. And with gratitude, I'm sending you all my love and all my luck, and we will see you in your next reading.